Logitech, are you muted? Hello, hello. Why is my microphone not working? Hello, hello. Testing. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so finally got my mic working. Let's just share that link once again. I am now streaming on YouTube. This is Dark Cloud, classic game from the PS2 era, one of my favorites, hands down, and probably one of my favorite. Anyway, welcome to Dark Cloud. One of the very first RPG games that I ever played. I really like it because it's kind of like Legend of Zelda meets SimCity. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Starting a new game because my other game's kind of further along. Needless to say, the story is pretty cool. The graphics and stuff for this game are actually pretty amazing, like, considering that this was, like, 2001, 2002 era. Like, it's an old game, but the graphics are really, really nice. It really showed off, like, the PS2's ability to handle, like, 3D models and things like that. One of the very first scenes that we see is, like, a bunch of people dancing, and, it's pretty impressive considering, but, at the same time, it's also kind of funny. You'll see what I mean. Game's very anime. It's a lot of fun. Alright, the name of our hero. Let's not go with tone. Let's go with, let's see here. We'll go with Kiba, just to make it nice and simple. Obviously. Wham. The Dark Shrine. So yeah, this is what I was telling you about with the dancing. I don't know, like, I'm kind of new to streaming, so I'm not 110% sure if I should just keep talking, or if you guys would prefer that I stay quiet so you can kind of get the story. But honestly, the story is all text anyway. There really isn't very much in the way of voice acting in this game, so it's not really something to be concerned about in that sense. But yeah, here's the dancing scene where the humans mixed with witch blood have, come together and are performing this dark ritual to summon the dark genie. Can you tell by the title and the words that everything is kind of dark themed? I'm pretty sure there's some sort of a dark corridor, dark dungeon, dark blade. Oh look, there's a Sephiroth ripoff. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, because that was Final Fantasy VII was PlayStation 1, so yeah. I know, everyone's gonna be like, what? Dude, how do you not know that? And the truth is, I've never played Final Fantasy VII, and I know everyone's gonna be like, what? Blasphemy. To be honest, I'm actually really not that big of a Final Fantasy fan in general. I'm not a big turn-based RPG kind of guy, which is one of the reasons why I really like Dark Cloud, is because the combat is not turn-based. It's more like a Legend of Zelda combat in the sense that it's, you know, you push the X button a couple times and it pulls off an automatic combo. But one of the things that was really innovative about this game is that it has a survival aspect to it. You have to pay attention to your thirst, or your health starts to dwindle, and you eat food to recover health. In the dungeon, there are magic springs that will refill your health and your thirst, which is awesome. Otherwise, you drink water in order to replace your thirst. Whenever you use your weapons, they level up as you use them, and the longer that you use them, the better they become. But the problem is that your weapons have durability, and if your weapon breaks, it's gone forever. So if you're not careful, you can spend forever, you know, like leveling up this epic, badass weapon to awesome standards to, you know, like, it'll carry you through the dungeon and one-hit everything. But if you're not careful, then it's gone, and you have to start over from scratch. It's pretty crazy. I will say that the one thing that I have a problem with in this game is that the tutorial, which is, it's there, and it's kind of nice, but they tell you things in stages, which would be great if not for the fact that the advanced combat tutorial does not come until, like, the 3rd floor of the dungeon, at which point, you know, you could have died like 3 times, not knowing the controls if it's your first time playing. Thankfully, it is not my first time playing, so I do know the controls. But that was one of the big flaws that I have in this game. Look, it's the Dark Genie. He looks absolutely nothing like Majin Buu. I mean, I can't see what inspiration they possibly could have had from Majin Buu from that guy. He looks nothing like him. Same thing with Sephiroth there. Anyway, yeah, you know, it takes a lot from Zelda and from, you know, other RPGs at that time period that are like this. But that's what's great about it, is that it's kind of, it's very original, but at the same time, it's also very classic. It uses the traditional RPG elements. This fat dude's not getting paid. And that's when the millennials realized that they were annoying. So, delicious. Okay, so now we're going to get to, finally, the main character of our story. Welcome to the town of Norun. Which, surprisingly, hey, look at that, there aren't any runes around. So, yeah, Norun. I have no idea if that's the reason why the town is named that. We were in the middle of a festival, and I am eating dinner with my mother, and she's my wife. Just kidding, she's not really my wife. You see her for like 10 minutes, and then you never meet her again. She's the Saria to my Link, you know, the one that everybody ships, but they really shouldn't because she's like infinitely 7. Yeah, I had this argument with Remy a while back. She was like, oh, I love Saria and Link, I think they're so cute together, and I'm like, that's great, but Link ages and Saria doesn't. She is like forever 7 years old. And she was like, no, because like, she's a sage, and I was like, yeah, no, that doesn't really make a difference. She's a Kokiri, and Kokiri don't age. So she's always going to be 7 years old. So even whenever Link is like, you know, in his 20s and 30s and like, yeah, you know, I want, you know, to like really like, you know, get down between the sheets, you can't because she's 7. Oh, she left me, that bitch. Let me just slurp up this delicious looking whatever and put on my turban. Yeah. I will say, like, the costumes in this game are kind of like, like, they could use some work, but not that I don't mind, like, ponchos, but what's with my dudes, like, skinny jeans and, like, my Uggs, you know? I guess that's kind of like a thing, because, I mean, Link's got like, Ugg-like boots, and he wears tights, so, I mean, you know, I guess there's that. Look at all these dancers that we'll never see again. Those guys we'll see. They're part of the village. But, at least he's trying. You gotta give him credit for that. She's kind of cute. But you kind of see what I mean whenever I say that, like, everything's really anime. Like, it's clear that the characters are very, like, anime in appearance, which is really interesting because, I mean, it's a Japanese-made game, so I guess it's not really, like, surprising per se, but you don't really see, like, straight-up anime characters very often. Like, you look at this and you can be like, oh no, yeah, this looks like literally it's an anime that someone, like, stretched into 3D models. But, as far as I know, there's not a Dark Cloud anime. I think it'd be really cool if you did, though. Like, it's such a unique game, and it's a lot of fun. They made a second one. I never have played the second one, but my hope is to get through this game, and, like, eventually. I know the soundtrack is great. I will admit, I don't like this blurry movement crap. I don't know what the movement is. I guess maybe they're trying to indicate that he's moving. But it's just kind of nauseating, really. Oh no, everything's on fire! Oh no, my waifu! Quick, no! Yes, rescue the waifu! Yes, for the waifu! I don't even know the waifu's name. Sad, isn't it? It shows how very little she actually matters to the game. Actually, she's probably not even like a waifu. She's probably just like, oh, it's my best friend and we needed a female in the game that's not a playable character. Or a furry, or hypersexualized. And now we get to meet the King of Fairies. Hi there, can you hear me? Open your eyes. Wake up. Hey, listen. He's kind of your Navi, but he doesn't follow you around the entire time. He likes to stay in his little pocket dimension every now and then and kind of pop up and be like, hey, you know how, like, you've been doing combat for, like, the first few, you know, hour or so that we've been playing? Well, good news, I can make it a lot easier for you by telling you what the controls are. So, that should be fun. Yeah, it's... it's an interesting game. As you can see, everything was destroyed. And the crazy, freaking apocalyptic dark genie who, for some reason, decided, hey, you know what? Let's start over there with that tiny little hick-ass town that nobody cares about, because that's what people who are like fight wars aim for. Like they aim for, you know, the population of 10 village rather than, you know, the stronghold of the enemy kingdom. Like. Yeah, so the fairies are not happy that they tried to destroy the world, so he managed to save the world, in a sense, by locking everything in these tiny little balls called Atla. And he is now giving me the Atlamilia, which is a gem that allows us to open said balls that contain the Atla, or that are the Atla and contain all of the buildings and people and furniture and all that cool stuff. So your job is literally to go through these dungeons and to repair the entire world, which is awesome. Everybody who has houses is like, hey, I want, you know, stuff based on, you know, like, how I want the village to be rebuilt. So, which is cool, because it's like, oh, hey, you know, last time, you know, whenever my house existed, it was really, really frustrating that every time the sun would rise, it would shine in my window, and that was a pain in the ass. So I would like you to rotate my house 90 degrees, so that way I can, you know, not have that happen again. And you can do that because you can just place down everything wherever the hell you want, and move it around as you wish. That's something that I think is really cool about this game. Whenever you're in the overworld, you don't actually have to run places, which is something that I figured out, like, because no one actually explained that portion to me. Seems you don't have anything to say. Oh, gee, I wonder if it's because I'm a silent protagonist. I mean, I don't ever say anything. Okay. Alright, so, first step, talk to the mayor. He looks so ridiculously happy for somebody whose entire village was just wiped out. Like, everyone I know and love could be dead, but hey, you know, life is good. I mean, I guess there's a silver lining for you. Like, people should, you know, be more positive. Yeah, the music is fantastic. Like, it's super catchy. And I mean, like, there are other games that have catchy music too, you know, like, if you want to talk catchy music, let's talk Luigi's Mansion, how you can literally listen to the same song the entire game, which is literally just 8 seconds looped over and over and over again, and still love it. It doesn't drive you crazy, which is amazing. I personally like to listen to the same song over and over and over again, which everyone gets annoyed with, so typically when other people ride in my car, I don't do that, but when I'm by myself, I like to listen to the same song over and over again. It's not always the same song either, you know, it kind of changes depending on my mood, but typically I listen to the same song a lot. So Luigi's Mansion didn't bother me, but it was kind of refreshing to have it to where it didn't bother other people either. Yeah, the mayor feels kind of helpless because, you know, he let everybody in the world get obliterated on his watch, and I don't know why the Dark Genie missed this house in particular, considering it's a goddamn submarine. Or why it's a submarine, considering we're nowhere close to the ocean. All we can do is go to the forest and ask Dran, our flying Saint Bernard, for help. He will not abandon us, for sure. So we're gonna go to the Divine Beast Cave. Find our way through some monsters. Reclaim parts of the village. And, yeah, that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna rebuild from there. Oh yeah, until I get to shop, he's gonna be the one passing out my equipment. So, equipment that we got a key to get in the dungeon. Water, which helps with our thirst, as you can see down there. It's got 3 little water droplets that rises our thirst, and it goes out quickly. Brad heals us. Repair powder helps repair a weapon. Escape powder allows us to get out of the dungeon. The reason why I have this this dagger right now is that it's your, like, backup weapon of the game. It never ever breaks. It loses all of its durability, and whenever it hits the point where it would break, it deals like 1 damage a swing, so it sucks. But until you get another weapon, it's okay, I guess. So you guys are gonna see me like using repair powder on it a lot, like on this dungeon, until I get another weapon, because until that point, fighting with a broken dagger sucks, dude. Like, oh, it is awful. Can I say dick on YouTube? I think so. It sucks. You can hear, like, the rattling of the cage next to me. That is my fairy dog, Stormy. He likes to make himself known. Hey, Stormy. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, he's a good boy. He's, you can't really see him, but he's, fairy dogs aren't normally climbers, but Stormy's a weird one, so he, likes to climb his cage and every now and then jump off randomly, like so. Yeah, he's just looking for some attention. First, we must conquer this wretched Divine Beast Cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Is the Divine Beast Cave Dran's lair? It's just at the bottom of the Divine Beast Cave. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon, and I think that you guys probably don't really care about all this stuff, so it's not really story important. It's just, you know, how to play, blah, 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 blah. You know, gotta have, you know, weapons. See Atla, you open it, you get buildings and stuff from it, you gotta kill all the monsters before he can teleport you out of the cave, but at that point, once you've killed all the monsters, you might as well just leave the floor and then leave the cave, because you can do that. Slash, yeah. Hey, look, I got bread. Ow, son of a bitch. The bats are annoying as hell. Which is why it's awesome whenever you finally get Cat Girl, because she has a ranged weapon, so you don't have to worry about the bats anymore. Yeah, that's what's really cool, is that you get other players, the characters, and you switch between them. So, Cat Girl, who, my very first playthrough, so normally I like to leave characters as their traditional names, except for the main character, because the main character doesn't talk, you know? But, whenever I first played the game, I was pretty young. I was maybe, like, 10-ish? Yeah, that sounds about right. About 10. And, so I was like, hey, you know, look, this cat. And at that time, I had a weird thing where I named all of my pets after food. So, she's kind of like a light brownish color whenever you find her as a cat, before she turns into a cat girl. And, so I named her Buttermilk, because I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, she's kind of like a buttermilky color. And, so I went through the game having a cat girl named Buttermilk. There's a fat guy that I named Hubba Hubba, but you'll get to him later. Like, we'll talk about that later. So yeah. First step, go through the dungeon, pick up, you know, all of this, like, weapons and items and stuff like that. That's another thing, too. It's like, whenever you get, like, a weapon that, like, has, like, a wide swing, it hits multiple things. Which is great, because I really like that. Yeah, like, it's an exploration type of game. The dungeons are randomly laid out. It's very Diablo-esque, if Diablo was a third-person hack and slash. It has, you know, skills and stuff, which this game does. Oh god, that thing. Okay, so that's called a dasher, and they are super annoying. So, item, get some bread. Poison goes away eventually. Good thing is that Dasher gets stunned by your attacks, which is not something that all enemies in the game have. Later on, we're going to fight the statues in this dungeon, and they are so annoying. Oh my goodness. Hey James, yeah, I just started streaming. Sorry, you have to go to work. Especially on Sunday, that sucks. Yeah, probably going to do it Sunday mornings. I started a little late today because I had to figure out things. But I got it figured out right now. So it'll be a lot easier next time. Crap, so already my weapon's like about to break, it's ridiculous. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get another weapon for some time, because if I remember correctly, it takes a couple floors before it happens. Oh look, another bat. This wasn't another bat. There we go. Hey, that was actually pretty easy. Collect all my stuff. I'll admit, I've never tried using YouTube for streaming before. Every time that I've streamed in the past, it was on Twitch. So I don't really know, per se. It's a fish bait thing, I can't even eat it. That's dumb, I can't even carry it. entire dungeon just to make sure you don't miss anything, because that one room that you're like, I don't need to go there, probably has the gigantic freaking chest that you need in order to hit, like, a really sick weapon. Because they like to do that, you know? They like to make it seem like a room is useless, and then it's not. Where's that dasher? Still poisoned. Shit. So, I'm not going to be able to survive this dungeon unless I use the escape powder to get out. Why can't I use it? I'll have to use it. Yeah, it's better to play safe than sorry in the first parts of this dungeon until you, like, get stuff. It's super frustrating because the... Yeah, okay, I can drop stuff out. Thank you, Fairy King. I appreciate you telling me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, open up Atla, put down buildings, that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And look, I get a manual that tells me how to do these things, just in case you are like me and he's not an interesting character, he's not fun, he has nothing to do with me killing monsters. So, diorama menu, config and assembly. Alright, here's Macho's house. Put Macho in it. Yes, thank you, Stormy. Look at this cool river. Voila! There you go, Macho. You got a road through the park. You're welcome. So let's go talk to Macho. Oh yeah, typically places have, like, chests that are just outside of their house, which is really nice. Hey, Macho. Oh, he missed me. You know, my smile really brightens his day. Hey, how should I... Tell me how to rebuild your house. Nope, you expand my room with the bar above that outside. Wow, you arrogant freak. Findings what a man should live for. It's a basic fact of life, right? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what he likes to fight about. I know he fights with his brother later, but it's kind of like a comedic anime, like behind closed doors you hear the sound of like psh, 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 and that's pretty much it. Upgraded the dagger, which is fine, because at this point, I don't really need anything to... I don't have to worry about all that good stuff. Just keep getting repair powder until I get the shop. But that's not going to be for some time. So we're about half an hour in. I actually promised my mother that I would meet her for lunch at 11:30, and it should be about 10:17. And then, so in about half an hour, I'm probably going to log off and head that way. But I intend to broadcast for longer than an hour, like in the future. This is just a temporary broadcast this first time around. I don't know why I went to go talk to Mantra. He doesn't have anything to offer me other than just being annoying. Let's go back to the dungeon. So this game does kind of have a little bit of a in and out, in and out, in and out thing with the dungeon. Like, you have to go back and forth, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it lets you leave off wherever you were, as you can see. So it puts me back in the dungeon, but as you can see, the dungeon is randomly generated, so every time I return, whoa, everything is different again. This means more treasure chests and stuff, so it's not so bad. Every now and then there are, like, secret areas of the dungeon. As you can see, there's this little wagon thing. It's got rusty wheels, so we need oil, and that will take us to a extra part of the dungeon where the monsters are a little bit tougher, but there's also typically there's some sweet whatever there. But whether or not you actually get the oil is, as I said, random. Like, everything is randomly generated. Food is randomly generated. Monsters are randomly generated. These things can either buff you or debuff you depending. As you can see, it gives me stamina, so it means my speed recharges like. These little, like, holy thunder, things like that, you can put into your weapons, and when you do, they gain, like, different element types and things like that. The dagger does not let you equip anything to it because it is the dagger. So here is the door that we can use the skeleton key on. Sorry, couldn't make fun about the skeleton key. Too easy, right? Stormy, chill out. Sorry, coming down the road. Eventually, if we get things that, like, increase our water and our health, we don't have to worry about it quite so much. Ah, we got tram oil! Now we can go to that super secret part of the dungeon where hopefully we'll get a weapon. Because the dagger just sucks. It just sucks. Sucks a lot. Right, sword. As cool as the 3D game is, I find it funny that your shadow, like, barely moves ever. Like, it does not change direction. Sorry, I like to randomly sing sometimes, so you're gonna have to put up with that stuff for me. Hey, I can upgrade the dagger again. That's cool. Now it's a +2 dagger. Little round dots that you see, those are treasure chest markers. So here's our magic spring. Quenches our thirst. The best part is that you can use the spring while you're in combat. So you lure some monsters over there, and monsters don't enter the spring. So you can just like attack, drop back into the spring to regain your HP, and then rinse and repeat. Some bread. Because I just recalled that we have that pond there. Dang it. Yeah, I make some dumb mistakes sometimes. I'm dumb. Every now and then you get like a completely empty cavern because of the random generation. Not very often, but it happens. Good news is that we have an antidote. No more poison. And look at that, we got an antidote. Alright, so here's hoping that the last chest that we find is a big chest. So, big chests typically contain weapons. Small chests contain just general items. But we'll see. Big chests are always nice to find. But, they're not common as what you expect. got Dran's Crest. There's really not much reason for us to stick around in this dungeon. If we see any more chests whenever we go back to the main map, grab those, but for the most part, fights, we'll bring our +2 dagger and send it back to nothing. To go down to the next floor. Instead of going to the next floor, we can we choose to leave the dungeon, and when we do, we have that. Oh god, they're everywhere. And when we do, we have that entire second floor unlocked. We have to go pick up the Atla and all that stuff still, but it's nice to do those progress. That's it, save our lives. Hey, I got some premium chicken, that's what I'm talking about. Nope. Too fast for you. Cannot touch me. Like Usain Bolt over here. They call me insane, so that's just how fast I am. Man, you know that guy Usain Bolt? Yeah, this guy's like insane. I don't know. He's very slow. Go downstairs. Leave the dungeon temporarily. Repair our weapons. Grab some more looted. Since that was still only the first level of the dungeon, we didn't pick up any more Atla. Hey buddy, give me some wood. Alright, thank you. Items. Stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Drink some water. That's hydrated now. Talk to him again. Whoa, look at that. Now we have more repair powder and water. So cool. He's so nice to keep refilling our stuff. Unfortunately, he stops doing it after a while. It's like, well, you know, I can't just keep giving you free stuff. You know, it's just like costing me money. I don't know why he sounds like Kermit the Frog to me, but he does. It's like, hey, what are you doing here? Kiba, can you go on your quest to see the world? It ain't easy being the mayor of an abandoned city. All I can think of is like the racist Kermit from Family Guy. Excuse me, can you tell me how to get back to the interstate? Yeah, it's back the way you came. PS2 game. It's Dark Cloud. Yeah, there's like a time thing, but it's kind of cool. Like, it's a lot of fun. So we're going back to the second floor of the dungeon. We got about 13 more minutes before I have to leave. So we'll probably go to the second floor of the dungeon in that time. Gotta grab all the Atla so we can rebuild the city. I know that we get my house pretty soon. Not long. So let's see. It's Buttermilk. Haha, it's the cat. Just kidding. The cat's name isn't Buttermilk. I can't remember what the cat's name is, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, I named her Buttermilk in the first playthrough, so I'm gonna be like referring to these characters as names. First monster I killed. So transgress is the item that we need in order to get to the second floor of the dungeon. It changes depending on cheese. Upgrade the dagger. Oh yeah. Dagger upgrades pretty quickly, but it's a pain in the butt having to just keep pumping repair powder. But for now, it's better than nothing. Is it really? Oh crap, I'll have to fix that later. Myself sometimes. I have a lot of, so I can stay alive for a while. And according to the map, there is a spring to the north and to the east. Find those springs. Use that to heal up. I think springs purify the poison, but I can't quite remember if that's the case or not. Sorry, I know you guys can probably hear my prairie dog like drinking his water. He's not a quiet sleeper. Bless you. So I shouldn't drink so fast. I gotta tell you. I don't know if the poison ever wears off or not. I don't think it does, but that's okay. Got plenty of time. Plenty of HP. Did it say that the dagger was ready to flip again? Oh, no, we're about halfway. I don't think I used my repair pad Yeah, plenty of bread and cheese, and now we have Macho's older brother. Cool Macho. Oh, we got Renee, which I think is my mother. Go to the annex room. Everything that's in the dungeon. So, hooray, we now know there's a monster, a aloe, and a chest even. Yeah, so... got in my house. Alright, got 5 more minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and head to the exit for this dungeon, or this floor, I mean, and then we will call it for today. And then later on we'll pick it back up. I'm having fun with this. Like, I know I'm still kind of awkward whenever it comes to my streaming talk. I apologize for that, but I'll get more comfortable as we go. It'll be more fun. It'll be a lot better too whenever I start, like, you know, whenever we get more people in here, so that we can just, you know, talk and chat and chill and whatever. I'm also a little bit sleepy this morning, so you guys can probably tell I'm like yawning and stretching and all that other stuff. So, config and assembly. My house in the middle of the street. Yeah, we got a dog and a cat. That's the cute little one with the cute little bell. It's the cat that we keep seeing. Normally I would use this annex for my room. Round wooden thing, something's in it. Can't remember what that is exactly, but we'll get to that. We talk to Komacho and say, hey, what do you want in your house? Go far for a good workout. It's a fence and a lantern, you know, like normal things. Oh, look at that, we get an event. Stormy, chill out. I'm trying to stream here. You got a problem? No, didn't think so. I equipped that to a weapon and I do more damage to stun monsters. And he's like, hey, that's mine. Hey, bro, what do you think you're doing? I was telling you, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. Everyone sounds like Kermit the Frog, I don't really care. So things between Big Brothers and Little Brothers should be, yeah, you're a dick. Can't take this anymore, bro. We're gonna settle this with a battle. Oh, really? Even though you're a foot taller than me? Okay, fine. Yeah. And he's supposed to be the big brother. It's a Full Metal Alchemist thing going on here. That anime teardrop. I know it's sweat. Don't fucking judge me. Let's go say hi to Mom. Farmer, apparently. Oh, the round thing's probably a silo. Stormy! guys, so that concludes today's stream. We'll go ahead and save here. Slot 1. Saving completed. Alright. And I will talk to you guys later. Alright. Peace out.